easy to execute on.
Hello, hello. Hopefully that's working. I should be able to hear you guys. You should be able to hear me. Hello and welcome to Heavyweight Gaming, Twitch channel Heavyweight RPG. If you don't know by now, you should. I'm going to try and adjust my camera real quick. There we go. Right. Tonight we are playing Carbon 2185, a Cyberpunk RPG created by Dragon Turtle Games. It uses the 5th edition open license and rule system. It's really cool. It's cyberpunky. If you like rolling dice and adventuring through the cyberpunk world, then check out the rule book that Mr. James just held up. Here's one here that you can't see because of the yes. Yeah, there you go. As modelled by. Please check them out. If you go to Dragon Turtle Games and you do buy stuff from their website and you put in the code WAITE, W-A-I-T-E, you'll get 10% off. So if you really want to buy some stuff, go do that. Social media, we are all over it. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. That's probably the only three you need to care about. We're on them. Go check them out. And you can find out what we're doing, what we've got planned, what we've got coming up, the dream that is. So please check it out. I'm very tired today. I do apologise. So, I've totally lost everything I'm supposed to do on these nights. Sponsors. Dragon Turtle Games. They created the game. They sponsor us, the show. We run the game. We love the game. It's very much new to the world, and they're doing Kickstarters and releases of stuff throughout since the last year and a half, possibly 2, that it got released. So a lot of it is still open to interpretation as you as a cyber master. Oh my God, John, mute yourself while putting together your gym kit. You absolute noisy bastard. So there's still quite a lot of stuff that you could do as a GM, DM, cyber master, whatever you want to call it, in your world creating. Goddamn flies. But pick it up, have a look, and then go from there, basically. It's really, really cool. Unofficial, they're not actually a sponsor, but I've started using their maps because they're so cool. Frag maps, as in frag grenade frag maps. If you go check them out, they're like, they sort of pop. I don't really know the terminology for the 2D, 3D, 4D, whatever it is, but they're very, very cool maps. If you go check them out on Patreon, Twitter, I think they're on Facebook as well, frag maps, or any of the Carbon 2185 Facebook groups, you see frag maps in there. They're so cool, and I will continue to maul him until he sponsors us. But his maps are really cool. The tokens we use are by Coyote Grey. If you go to Roll20, go to the marketplace, type in Coyote Grey, you'll see his Chibi Pack tokens. He's done a shed load of fantasy ones, but he's done a release of a Cyberpunk token pack. That we use for our games, and he's got plans for lots more, so that's cool. We are Epic Games Need Epic Sound. It's the tagline of Syrinscape, and rightly so, because we use Syrinscape on every single game we play on the channel. If you want ambience set at your table, playing out of a tablet or a Bluetooth device, or anything that you want to create a musical ambience for, Syrinscape are absolutely brilliant at it. If you are playing online across the country, the world, etc., and you want your players to enjoy the same ambience that you're trying to create, if they get the download app, the Syrinscape download player app, they too can hear what you're playing, and they can obviously have it as loud or quiet as they wish, depending on how immersed they wish to be. But yeah, check out Syrinscape, super badass. The artwork that you see of the characters next to their thing is by Becky Appleyard Art. So if you go to Facebook and put in Becky Appleyard Art, who knew? You will find her on Facebook and check out all her lovely little style of chibis and artwork and stuff. And as you see, they're proper cool and cute, so we love them. Syrinscape, tokens, maps, and there we go. Yeah, we're on it. Anything else there? Right. So we do a thing where you can throw 200 bits at the channel. If you throw 200 bits at the channel, the players get a reroll. They cannot reroll death saving throws, they cannot carry them over to next week, and they can only ever have 5 at one time. If they spend all 5 and you wish to throw more at them, so be it, but they can only ever hold 5 at one time. They cannot use them on my rolls either, is important to know. And the pleading face of 413 Hex. We had a couple of weeks where nobody was allowed to donate bits because of the new channel. It was brutal. Right, so that's all the good stuff. If you're into 5e stuff and you go to DM's Guild and you type in Tasha's Heavier Crockpot Bits and Bobs, you'll see a 5th edition. It's D&D 5th edition, but it's a source book. It's completely filled with creative nerds. Thank you, Ven Halcyon Crayola. What? Thank you very much for the Bram. I swear I've met that guy. So you can... I need to get my gravy time sorted out because of the new channel. Go Tasha's Heavier Crockpot Bits and Bobs, 5th edition, source book. Loads of nerds have written for it. Loads of nerds have done artwork for it. It's really, really cool. There's like 86, 87 new spells for it. The subclasses for it. It's all that good stuff. And it's about 200 copies sold. So some people like it. So yeah, so if you're into that, go grab it. Right, all that stuff out there. The important one, McIntyre, a charity stream. Every year we do a charity stream at Heavyweight Gaming. We've done 24-hour D&D one-shots. We've done 49-hour. A collection of one-shots and computer gaming, shooting, whatever it was. And we've raised well over £4,000 for charities such as Birmingham Children's Hospital, Mind, Rainbow Trust and Mermaids. This year we're doing it again, so we're doing it for McIntyre. They are a support charity. They've got 1,200 people under their under their care, under their support network, and they are people that are children, young adults and adults. Some will have varying levels of autism, some just need a support entity in their everyday life, and McIntyre do a really, really good job of it. As with all charities though, they need help from those around them that are willing to throw a few quid their way to help them get provide the service they do. So this year will be McIntyre. On the 24th through to the 25th of July, so this month, so at the end of this month, we are doing a 24-hour one-shot of D&D for the Short Rest Tavern. The Short Rest Tavern are a very, very good group of friends of ours. They, their Dungeon Master runs our Rime of the Frost Maiden on a Friday. Lauren herself is part of the Short Rest Tavern lot. They have their own channel called The Short Rest Tavern, and they stream most Mondays doing their Candlekeep Mysteries games and various other Q&A type stuff and chatting stuff throughout various random days when they're all free, to be fair. So check out The Short Rest Tavern. The one
usually
shot
at the end of a chapter of the book.
Usually at the end of a chapter of a book.
Yep.
Those one shot they do in the charity will heavily impact the Tuesday campaign that has been going for 40 odd sessions. So yeah, so there's some crossover there, so that'd be cool. During it, we've got some stuff to give away, and to have a chance at giving away, you've got to donate £5. Every time you donate £5, your name goes in the hat. So you donate £50, your name goes in 10 times. You donate £5, it goes in once. There are several items that you can win, so whenever you donate, I need you to put on your note what item it is you want your name put in the hat for, and then we'll go from there. If you do not put a note on it, I just assume you're throwing money in as a donation and you're a kind-hearted person. The things we have to give away are Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, 2 copies from D&D Beyond. Very nice of them to donate those. So they're up for grabs. Loke battle mats. If you go check them out, they sponsor pretty much all our other shows. They are award-winning super map makers. Basically, they do a big book of flip-out maps and a giant book, which I think is A3, where you flip it out on your table and you've got tundras and forests and stuff like this. Towns and taverns and arcane circles and dungeons and sewers and all sorts. They're really, really cool at what they do. They're always successful on their Kickstarters because they're really, really cool at what they do. But they've thrown in a giant book of maps and a big book of maps. So if you're after them, again, donate. Blink Dog Dice, a small dice business in the south of Wales, have kindly donated dice sets to throw in. So again, you can throw in for them. We've got Bardic Inspiration UK throwing in their Goliath dice bags. So if you go check out Bardic Inspiration UK on Facebook, you can find out all about them. Blink Dog Dice have got a shop on Etsy. So what's that? Blink Dog Dice, Bardic Inspiration, Loki Battle Mats, and D&D Beyond are all thrown in for this charity. Yeah, so hopefully we'll raise a few quid for him. I think we're already at like 60, 80 quid, which is good. It's good. Right, I think that's everything. I think that's everything. I think. Right, let's get all this stuff. Right, I'm going to play Sun's game now and see if it works. So hopefully, you lovely viewers, what you'll have to let me know, chat, is the Sunscape is on the same sound mixer as the players. So if it's super loud, please let me know. If it's super quiet, let me know, and I'll try and adjust accordingly. Should be dead bouncy music. We'll go with that. Right. So, if you've been following, this lot are on Mars. They went to Mars to pick up some assets. Turns out they ended up there for 12 sessions after spending 12 sessions getting there. Also, they've discovered that there is at the facility that they went to on Olympus Mons, there was a lot of research being done into a young boy called Mason. The head of the research goes by the name Medic and claims that Mason is some sort of religious, divine messiah, especially in the eyes of Medic. And the research done into Mason has proved that Mason has an ability over the nanites that is currently, well, to those known, beyond what is known. The gang managed to save, use your own terminology, players, Mason from the facility and return him to the Dome Cities on Mars to hand him over to his father, Ryan. At least that's the plan. They returned to the Dome Cities of Mars. Dome 1 is the docks. When you got there, you realised that the local enforcement of the Dome Cities, those that kind of hold, those with a few quid, they do the enforcing, were looking for somebody, some, you know, plural or otherwise, within the docks and searching the vehicles and such. The gang decided it was them they was looking for, so split the party 3 ways, which is a fantastic thing to start a session with as a dungeon master, games master, etc. You love it when the party splits 3 ways. We had Larry, who decided to cause a hell of a distraction, which was well taken advantage of by the rest of the party. He jumped on a Vespa, firing EMP grenades into the crowd and shooting off down one of the tram tunnels towards Dome 2, giving Jean, 413X and Mason the distraction they need, as well as the smooth talking skills of Jean and the shadow, I am one with the shadow stealth skills of 413X, to get aboard a tram and head towards Dome 3 to meet up with Ryan, Mason's father. Philip and Yun did their own distractive ways. Philip interacted with some of the local enforcement, discovered that it wasn't them they were looking for, and then went to one of Yun's safe houses. Whilst there, Philip, between them, they discovered that the tracking entity system, beacon, whatever you want to call it, was not actually in the easily put down and losable helmet of Philip, but in his actual arm. So as all normal folk would do, he chopped it off. I mean, yeah, no problem with this. Hopefully they'll actually gain that intelligence that they've got on theirs. Actually, maybe not. Let's have a look. Yeah, who knew that hackers might be intelligent? So, what then proceeded was Philip nearly died. And it's not overly 100%, but he's not away from death yet. Yun has managed to use a plaster and a cotton wool bud to stop the bleeding at the moment.
I use a blue paper towel like they do in schools.
Yeah. just the same one, just keep flipping it.
Just an old rag with a bit of spit.
Philip is completely out cold and not dying. You are in the left arm is there. I've said you want to yeet the arm, but we'll get to where you're yeeting it in a moment. Larry then proceeded to continue his distraction, kicking off with the guards before handing himself over after going out swinging. He also damaged his arm heavily by doing a bit of ridiculous badassness, grabbing onto a moving train to return to the point of destination.
Scene of the crime.
Scene of the crime. So Larry is currently with customs. He sent a text message to Jean, relaying that he will do all in his power to protect Mason. Jean interacted with a bubblegum, which turns out to be the sister of Cherry Bonbon from a long way back on Earth. Cherry Bonbon was a member of the mercenary unit known as the Sweet Shop, and caused the party a little bit of just some friction. But it seems that Bubblegum and her sister are not overly friendly at the moment, and there's a little bit of odds between them. And John had a nice conversation, and all was well in the world. So, unfortunately, we do not have Larry tonight because Roberto is ill. Aww. However, that makes my job easy because he's just in a jail rotting somewhere. Boom, out the sesh. So, we will start with Philip and Yeon first. Philip, you're out cold. Well played. Yeon or Pack, you plan to yeet the arm. Can you tell me how you plan to yeet the arm?
I was going to sneak out my door and try and go down like a few alleys out the way and just stash it in a bin somewhere.
Okay. Are you stashing hiding or stashing leaving in plain sight?
Stashing hiding.
Can you give me a sleight of hand?
Yeah. Wait. Oh, I like that modifier. That's 24.
24? Cool. Make a note.
Make a note.
Make a note. Stash them. Yeah. 24?
24.
Cool. So, and as a corporate kid, you do actually have a salary, but you've never checked. Good luck accessing it. So, Philip, whilst Yeon is out and about, can you give me a fortitude save, please? To see if the repairs and the previous rolls have kept you with us.
14.
14? Cool. You're still out cold. I think it was 3 hours, maybe? I think it was 3 hours.
3. Yeah.
So for 3 hours, you are on the brink of death.
That's right. Yeah, that's about 11 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, give me 10. So, Ian, as you're out and about, can you give me a perception check? You're making your way in. You move a few of the warehouses down. You're still in the dock dome, so your little safe house is basically above a shed room that keeps you out of the way.
19.
19. What you notice, and they stick out more because you know the area so well. You see the odd, maybe 2 or 3, not together, but going around certain buildings and such. Almost a uniformed type of person. They're in long trench coats, full on, wish they were Neo and Morpheus. They're walking around with big, thick comms devices on their upper chest on the left-hand side. They all have assault rifles. They all have some sort of handled weapon on their back, whether it be blade or otherwise. And what you notice on most of their hips is some sort of manacle.
Okay.
And
I'm
they've got
going to
2 or
be
3 sets
stealthy.
on each one of them. On your 19, you also see the Crown Estate badge.
Cool. I'm going to be stealthy when I'm going to Yotis this thing away.
Cool.
Do I need to do a stealth roll?
You can indeed.
That one is 16.
Cool. So as you move through the back alleys and in front of some of the where the workers are using the forklift trucks and such, you just kind of keep out the way, out of eyesight, yeet the arm, stash it, notice these, and make your way back to your safe house.
Cool.
4 and 3/8. You haven't yet made yourself. Yes. Jean, you've got Bubblegum sat opposite you. You've got you and Mason are just kind of looking out the window at the landscape of Mars as heading towards Dome 3. Is there anything you wish to do before you get to Dome 3? Or are you just going to ride the tram?
I will send a message to my cohort saying, just met Bubblegum. Nicer than a sister.
I ain't got thumbs.
No response.
Cool. I'll
So-
keep my eye out. Particularly as we start to approach the kind of off station that we're going to see whether or not it looks like there's anyone waiting for us.
Cool. As this is backwards and forwards, but kind of at the same time, you'll just have to bear with us. As the tram arrives at Dome 3, you quickly understand the recreational side of this particular dome, as when you step, as the doors open and the tram pulls in, Bubblegum, before you arrive, is up and moves a couple of carriages away from you. Like further down, 2 or 3 carriages, you assume. She leaves your carriage and keeps going.
Yeah.
The tram pulls in. Give me a quick perception check, looking out the windows.
16.
16. You. Nothing alarming jumps out at you where you like eyeball them or track anyone. There's a lot of folk here, definitely either leaving a long night/day's worth of using the recreational activities in this dome, or just arriving to perform them or receive them. And this is anything from any of the drugs available to physical pleasures, to psychological pleasures, to just dancing and drinking. But as you get off the tram, there is a bright pinks, blues, greens, yellows. Everyone's got the wired pictures of various humanoid forms, lights flashing and blinking. It's better than District 5/4 in the way they've been set up, because this is probably the only place here that has that dedication to that particular genre of life. But it's still on the cheaper end of things. Looking around, it literally is taverns and places to enjoy oneself in whatever form they wish. There doesn't seem to be any law here. You don't see any of those enforcers that you saw on the docks, and it seems to be a free-for-all. No one seems to be kicking off either. Like, just looking out the windows, there's a few bouncers type folk on some of the buildings and the pubs and stuff and bars, but there doesn't seem to be anyone kicking off with the doorman, the door people. There doesn't seem to be any kick-off in the streets. There seems to be a unspoken rule of behave yourself, and we can keep this place going around.
Is there, as I'm sort of taking this all in, are there any obvious signs of street gangs I might recognise?
Give me a sec. I think there is. Bring me notes up. So give me that. Give me a history check.
History check. That'll be a 3.
Oh, cool. Oh no. Being a people person, you do notice that there are clear social cliques out and about on like the runways and roadways, pathways that lead up to the different buildings and such. As for any you recognise, not so much, but you do see a fair amount of old school motorcycles, like full-on combustion engine, less of the modern day world. There's about 8 of them outside a particular bar that's got a bit of a cyber western feel going on to it. That just immediately reminds you of the Sons of Chaos, purely because they use the old style bikes, but no one there is wearing the patch of Sons of Chaos.
Yeah.
But they're clearly a biker clique.
I'll head towards that place and take Mason with me.
Okay.
I will make a bit of a... Actually, before I do that, I will have a bit of a look down in the direction Bubblegum went. See if I can see her.
Give me a perception check.
13.
13. You kind of strain to see her, and for a moment think, she's just disappeared among the people. But then you spot her, and she's making no attempt to hide or stealth, as it were. She's just merely off the tram. She's heading over to a... You have to double take it first, because the building she's heading towards, or it seems to be she's heading towards, has these stupid like neon images of books on like the, as if it were the sign of the pub, like the logo of the pub. It's a load of books, but there's no word into it. It's just a picture of books, and she's going towards that. But it's still got the very obvious neon, ever-changing, vibrant lights.
Okay, I will mark that location in my HUD, but still head towards the biker gang bar.
Cool. Mason is a little bit like, whoa. There's music playing, there's very attractive people, or at least people that have paid money to, project attractiveness. And he's kind of just looking around, absolutely taking it all in. He has never seen such a vibrancy in his life. And you kind of every now and then have to give him a little, like, pull along, like, come on, dude, like, we've got shit to do.
Yeah. How would I? Don't worry, you ain't seen nothing yet.
He looks up at you. All right.
Cool.
He just kind of grips your hand a little tighter. You have noticed that since the tram, he's not let go of your hand.
Okay.
As you head over to the biker bar, they've called it the John Wayne, and you can see lots of like real old memorabilia, like an old calf, dedicated to like 80s cartoons type of thing. But this is all very much a John Wayne, cowboys and all very old Western movies, like years ago. But they seem to be enjoying it, and a lot of the people here, and it's got that strange, you are in 2185 on another planet, and that contrast of these old, like it's got an old record player next to a clearly modern day jukebox, and it's plugged in, so it's kind of a, you go into bed.
That looks weird.
That does look weird.
What is
That's Sapphire. I'll tell you about her later. Right, go on to bed,
Is
Dad.
she like an underwater creature?
She's an underwater, like, synthetic assassin death machine, but I'll tell you all about that. Hurry up!
Oh.
Hurry up! Mwah. Night. Go. Go, ninja, go! So, you died? Who died? Somebody died? Right. Yeah, so you get that crossover of old school Western memorabilia meets the modern day 2185 kit, and it's all wired and plugged into one another. So you get the feeling that the shell is an old record player, but the internal makings of it are probably more modern. Most of the people there have taken on the aesthetic and are wearing what is almost cosplay of a Western time, which is cool because they've also got very bright UV tattoos. Some of them have got like a cybernetic eye patch that changes different colours. They've got pistols in holsters, but they're the pistols you use. It's a very, niche, or it appears to be a very niche tavern bar area. Are you just going in for a drink?
Yeah, I'll basically just head in with Mason, check the place out, try and find a table that's not in the back, but like not, you would spot it straight away when you walked in the door.
Oh, okay. So you potter in, you head left, There are people. There is like a small makeshift, not casino, but various elements of a casino, like a roulette table. There's folks playing card games and dice games. There's one dressed as an elf and a barbarian, and they are just enjoying the thing. Obviously most of the kit they're using is of a digital or holographic format to prevent cheating. But yes, you go past that and then you sit down at a table. Immediately a animatronic comes over. Animatronic? A robot comes over and and has got it's on one singular like unicycle wheel, and it's got like a old school waistcoat, again cosplaying the theme of the Western era. It's got a monocle, it's got a daft tash that's kind of painted on it, and it's got a tray with empty glasses, and its other arm is got like a funneled spout, and there are several options on its waistcoat for drinks.
What are the options? Is there a soft drink?
There is. You are in a bar, and those drinks are. But the soft drink it provides is water.
I'll order a water and just some kind of ale.
Cool. And it proceeds to fill two of the mugs they're like the old shot glasses / mug. They fill them up, one with water, one with an ale. Pass it over, and he just holds out the robot just puts out its arm for you to scan for credits.
Yeah.
One longs to be taken.
I'll scan the thing.
It's only like 3 or 4,000. And then it wheels away. Mason reaches for the ale.
I'll slide the ale away from him and push the water in his direction.
Mono katana his face, don't touch nobody's ale. So, and Mason sits back and he's kind of holding the water dead close to him, and he's just looking around, taking little sips. What are we doing here? Michael G.
Ryan, your father, said he'd find us.
Okay.
So, and this is, as strange as it may seem, familiar to me.
He does a little side glance, and then sort of just sits back and nods, and he's looking around again, taking it all in. 4 and 3X. I'm assuming you just followed close by.
Yep, but I wouldn't have entered the.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. Yeah. Cyber saloon. But yeah, for your following along, give me a stealth check. I assume it's 96.
22.
22. Oh, you're slacking. What's up with you?
I rolled an 11.
You disgust me. So, you do exactly that. You do what you did in the first part of this escape from the docks, and just stay almost in plain sight but unseen. You follow Jean and Mason towards the saloon. As they enter, are you just hanging about outside, or what's your plan?
I'll take up a perch on the building opposite or something like that and just keep an eye on the street.
Cool. You scale one. It's easily for your lovely skilled self. You scale one of the buildings. You can hear the through the rooftop as the music's playing below you, and you just kind of perch and scan the place. Right, Ian. Pack. There are several Crown Estate agents that you've seen, and you are making your way back to Philip. You make it all the way back to Philip. Philip is kind of groaning and moaning but still unconscious, and you've been gone about an hour.
Can I make him more comfortable, maybe like patch him up a bit more?
You can. You are very confident in the stuff you've done will probably prevent him from dying.
Yeah.
But he has just had an arm amputated. There are, steps required once an amputation has been performed, of which you are unaware, being a smuggler, not a medic. But yeah, he's right now, as far as you're concerned, and you're confident in this thought process, is he's not going to die immediately. He will come conscious in another 2-ish hours in a metric ton of pain because he's missing an arm, and he is not a synth. He's an organic.
Can I do a Google to see if there's anything I need to do to help him out?
What, for amputation?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you Google it, the first thing it says on the old, we'll call it Google. You know what I mean?
Is don't.
Yeah. First thing it says is, do not perform an amputation if you are not a professional, and at no circumstance should you whip off a person's arm with a katana. But who knew that would be on the internet? So, just using the old tinters and having a quick scoot around, there's quite a lot of antibiotics and medicines that people that have had to, be on the receiving end of such operations and procedures to going forwards, like the healing process, everything about it. As for a quick fix, you could probably, YouTube some Rambo movies where they burnt a knife and just, sealed the wound with a really hot blade. I'll let you take that on your own advisement. Philip's out cold. He'd probably volunteer for it because, Dave's got a new character he wants to play. But yeah, so a lot of the stuff you come across is information of the long-term effects of a amputation. You specifically look for amputations in the field, like things that have been done in larger like military exercises and conflicts globally, historically, more modern, and getting them the pain relief is generally the number one priority for those sort of situations, purely because when they're experiencing that pain, they're not very useful. But you are aware that in 2185, through your lovely searches, most advanced medical practitioners, so those that are not your GPs, are able, because augmentation is a thing, are able to attend said procedure and minimalise the damage done in preparation for further works, whether it be it's just left amputated or something is attached or...
Is there a way, because I've been here for a while, I should know where one of these...
You are fully aware, so as far as I'm concerned, you can assume that most resources are either known to you, not necessarily available, but known to you at least. So, yes, Pac would know of a medic or somebody who is, willing to do a bit of chop shop augmentations and such. Might be able to, on the fly, stop him dying.
Cool. Right. I am going to stash him in this room so he's hidden and it's not obvious.
So I will repeat the description of this room. You have a single cot bed, a bedside table, and it barely fits you two in it.
I was going to say I'm going to stash him under the cot bed and try and disguise him there.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yep.
I thought she was going to put him in the bedside cabinet.
Just fold him up a little bit. He should be more compact now he's lost an arm, but...
So give me a sleight of hand with disadvantage.
Okay. Right. So that one is 25. And that one is 22.
22. Cool. You roll Philip under the cot bed.
Sorry, mate.
What do you do about the incredibly excessive amounts of blood all over your room?
I haven't got a decorative rug to bring the room together, do I?
Yeah.
Give it a bit of a wipe.
Cool. You give it a bit of a wipe. Philip, you are unconscious under a bed cot. Right, back. What's your then plan? To go looking for said medic?
Yes.
It is a chap called Charlie, but he's over in Dome 2, so you would have to... in the docks, people don't work any other job than freight management, logistics. So you would have to leave this particular dome to go to another dome.
Okay, I'm just going to write him a quick note and stash it on him.
Give me an intelligence roll. Is it intelligence? Yeah, intelligence.
Just int.
Yep.
Okay.
Straight in. D20
That's
plus mod.
fine.
Fire.
Unholy.
Unholy. So you are you do the math. By the time you get to Dome 2 and back, Philip's going to be awake.
Cool.
Just so you are aware.
Right, I'm just going to put a little note saying, hey, gone to get you a medic. I've stashed you just in case someone come back. I'm going to stick it like above him on the cot. He's like, please be chill.
Like there. Just,
yeah, just right there. Just on his face. So like when he
that'll be
wakes
your
up.
first reaction, Philip, when you wake up from having your arm cut off, is to read the note.
Yeah,
Well, it's going to be there.
I'm fairly sure it's going to be a. Oh, I wonder how one got down here.
Yeah.
Oh look! Fortunately, there is a
How
note
doth the
explaining
moon
how to
glow
do it.
upon one's night?
Phantasma.
I don't know. I was just going to go with screaming and headbutting the underside of the bed,
Yeah,
but
like,
you could
I
go
can't-
for Shakespeare if you want, buddy.
I know.
Whatever gets you through the pain,
You're
Philip.
wandering
Whatever
around. I
gets you
need
through
to
the
stash you.
So,
Philip, how do you feel, lighter?
I've lost 10 pounds with this new diet.
I'd say an arm and a leg, but I only took the
hey,
arm.
don't give her ideas. Christ. So, back you head out your safe house. Are you stealthing back towards the tram station?
Stealthy, stealthy.
Roll yourself.
That is 9.
Okay.
Do, 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 do.
So you leave, have a look around. You don't see anyone that you feel more. I've forgotten the word. When you find someone dodgy.
Scrupulous?
We'll go with that. That's not what I was thinking of.
Sketchy.
I'll think of it at 3 o'clock in the morning. No one looks dodgy. More so than normal. You don't see any of these Crown Estate agents.
Cool,
You
cool.
make your way back to the tram stations. There's an aftermath of commotion. There's less of the enforcers about, but it does seem that the EMP has worn off. Things are slowly getting back to norm. There is still a urgency about the docks, but there's less people power on the docks where they're going through stuff. It seems they're going further out. There is, as you're pointing along, you do hear whisperings and commotions of a very large, heavily set gentleman with metallic fists and a broken cybernetic arm that's been arrested. Or, I say arrested, they don't really do arrests in the domes, but taken into one's custody. And there is a tram in station waiting to go to Dome 2.
I hop on the tram.
On you get. So, as you head towards Dome 2, Philip, this is very time skippy backwards and forwards, so bear with me please. And for those in the chat, I've just seen the viewer numbers go up. We've got a 3-way party, so you just have to try and keep up. Philip, time passes. A good couple of hours. Yep. As your eyes slowly open, there is a brief moment of that where you first wake up in the morning, you're just trying to adjust to where you are, and I mean brief moment, and then an excruciating amount of pain racking your body. As you turn to flail, you bump into the bed that's straight in front of you. This is not a 4-poster bed with 6 foot of space underneath it. You are literally the size of the cot bed, and you start bumping into it. You bang your head, your elbows. You kind of have a. In fact, give me a
too
mind.
soon. Elbow.
Singular.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Someone might be banging your elbow down the road. That's a weird sentence. Give me a mind save. I don't know what they're into around here. If you crease the arm, you know what I mean? We'll cut that out.
Please.
10.
10? Yeah, you have a massive panic attack, mate, because of the pain you were in, the situation you were in. Your mind's still trying to remember that it was your idea in the first place, and then your mind's telling you no, but your body is having a whale of a time, and you are in agony, mate, absolute agony. Good luck with that. We'll come back to you.
In my head, it's C-3PO that's just been sort of cut up, going, "Oh dear, oh my." In reality,
it's Jim Carrey.
it's like you know those fish once you've got them onto the deck of the boat and they're just flopping around everywhere, like that, but more red.
Yeah, that is fair. That is accurate. You're not having a good time with it, Philip. John, in the John Wayne, you're in John Wayne. Jesus, I should have named that tavern differently. You are sat there with Mason enjoying your drink, and you just get a blank message from Ryan. As you react to it, you notice that several tables across on the other side of the roulette table, as in past the roulette table to another table, you see Ryan sat there. You're used to him having like a dirty blonde, almost military cut with a bit of a flick over. His hair is jet black, and the attire he is wearing is casual, inconspicuous. He's blending in, and he's wearing a pair of glasses that are quite thickly rimmed. If it worked for Kent, it can work for Ryan. But you do notice Ryan. Mason does not.
Okay. I'll just sort of whisper to Mason. Mason, I need you to not react, but your father's just over by the roulette table.
Oh. Do you not want me to run over to him and start hugging him?
We're gonna get up and go over to him, but we just have to do it quite calmly and try not to draw too much attention to ourselves.
Give me a persuasion check.
Thank God for bonuses. 18.
18? Okay, I understand.
Okay. I'll grab my ale and stand up and sort of nod at Mason, and then sort of begin to lead him over towards his dad.
As you go past the roulette table, you look to your right, and there is a probably put the most effort into their cosplay here. Cowboy stood there. They've got a long black beard that's braided. They whip out a 6-shooter pistol and they start shooting towards you rapid fire, like hand on the hammer, just bam 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 bam. The glasses on the bar almost shooting through you, explode, shatter as every shot hits the glasses. On your reaction, you then see the hologram fade out and carry on. Mason shit a brick. And that brief moment, you're like, let's not roll this shit in the saloon. and you keep walking.
I mean, I'll be kind of like mid-drawing my sword.
6 civilians dead. You head over. There's a huge roar from the crowd as this display happens, and then they all go about doing what they're doing. As you head towards,
casually re-sheathe their sword.
Totally didn't catch me, aren't you? In fact, I'm gonna do it just for giggles. No, you got away with it, bastard. So you keep walking over, and as you walk towards Ryan, Ryan's got his hands on the table. Excuse me. And he's got a pistol next to his hand, just sat there casually, and he's gripping the table. Give me a people check.
What kind?
Just roll plus people.
Doesn't really matter. 11.
That's alright, yeah. It's almost like he's doing what you advised Mason to do and keep it on the cool, but you can see Ryan is staring at you, like force staring at you, so he doesn't make eye contact with Mason, and gripping the table as you walk towards the table. You get to said table, Ryan just nods, and you can see there's a welling up in his eyes, but he just nods, put on a very obvious fake, like, short smirk, and just gestures towards the seats. As you sit down, another one of the unicycle waiter robots come over.
As I'm sitting down, I'll put my ale down, so it's kind of like in front of Ryan's hand, and I'll just
reassuringly pat him.
Subtly, like, put my hand on top of his, squeeze it briefly, and then slide my hand back as I take a seat.
There is a visible relaxingness. There we go, good English. In Ryan's posterior, and he sort of looks at Mason and beams, and then wipes his eyes quickly. And Mason just sits like proper still, hands in his lap, just smiling at Ryan, staring at him, and then he sees that Ryan's trying to look away, so Mason tries to look away. Then they look back at each other, and you're sat there like, right, that's gonna get us caught, right? So like that, fuck's sake. But yeah. And there is that brief moment of shitness as they can't hug. But yeah,
I'll just I'll say to Ryan. I'll just say, have you got somewhere to go?
You kind of snap him out of his attention on Mason. Well, yes and no, and thank you, John. Thank you. But he's looking round now. But there's still one more thing. And then coming up from like behind you, around to stand with Ryan, is Bubblegum, and she puts her hand on Ryan's shoulder, and he relaxes, and she kisses him on the top of the head. No, I'll take it from here, and she sits next to Ryan, holding his hand on the table, looking across the table to you and Mason. Mason just elbows you, like. No sleight of hand, bang. She was on the tram.
Well, I'll just be like,
Like,
yeah, she was. Yeah.
not a scoundrel, are you, kid?
Hi again, Bubblegum.
Hello. Thank you for bringing Mason back to us.
What do you mean, us?
She kind of just holds Ryan's hand up. Surely you understand. Just leaves it there. I couldn't tell you about Bubbles, and he sort of shakes his head as he calls the Bubbles.
I was just like, okay, we need to talk.
Understatement.
Bubbles.
No talking, just guns.
The robot waiter still like just bobbing on its, you know, 25.
I just look over him and just go, 3 shots of the strongest stuff you have, please. And I just
these.
wave my friends.
Keep up coming. Said robot dishes out drinks for all of you and wheels away. Bubblegum, she sits back, relaxed. She takes her shot immediately, and then carries on drinking the water that she ordered off the robot. Ryan is kind of just trying to control his breathing, and he's doing the looking out and about.
I'll down my shot as well, and I'll look from Ryan to Bubbles, from Bubbles to Ryan, Ryan to Bubbles, and go, okay. So what's the one more thing?
And Ryan speaks. I need you to be me.
I look over at Bubbles. I look back at Ryan.
She looks at you like straight in the eyes. You wish, motherfucker.
In what capacity?
Bubbles there. We've arranged for Ryan and guests and Mason tickets, passage back to Earth. However, Ryan and Mason will not be on that transport, but we need somebody to be on there as Ryan. My sister and previous employers will be looking for Mason. If they believe he's on Earth, he is safe here.
So you need us to go back to Earth pretending to be Ryan and Mason?
only for the trip. Once you are there, an official records say that Ryan and Mason have landed and are now Earth side. Do as you wish. That'll be the only... And then Ryan chips in. It's the last thing I'll ever ask of you, my friend.
I'll look over at Bubbles. Do you know Larry?
Do I know Larry? The large marine you travel with?
Yes.
I know of him, yes.
He's planning to stay here and keep his eye out.
She looks
He doesn't-
uncomfortable, but Ryan looks at you. Do you trust him?
When it comes to the kid, yes.
Then so do I. And before Bubbles can, like, you know, have an argument against that, Ryan just squeezes her hand as if to say, no, subject dealt with.
I look over at Bubbles, just goes, your sister doesn't like me very much.
Can't think why.
I'm assuming that the reason that they want Mason is not with his best interests at heart.
Quite the contrary, says Bubbles. They believe Mason will lead them. They believe Mason to be our, and then she sort of stops, their Messiah.
So Medic's associated with the sweet shop?
Medic is very much associated with the sweet shop. Medic was one of the founding members with Imperial.
Okay.
She laughs. It's strange to hear you call him Medic, as I call him Pear Drop.
Sorry, that's noteworthy.
Yes. Why is Pedro noteworthy?
Pear Drop, not Pedro.
Oh.
But to be fair, if you take off the P.
No wonder he's so shitty. He's a crap sweet.
Well, what, an attack on
Shots
sweets?
fired,
But that was a
shots
bit
fired.
weird.
Come at me. Come
Can
at me.
Haribo get on to me now? It's like the weirdest like sass I've ever heard. It'd be like, that's a shit sweet, that. Sorry, John. Just in general.
I'll look at Ryan. I'll look at Bubblegum. I'll look at Ryan first and go, you already know I'm in.
I still have to ask.
But then I'll look at Bubblegum. But my friends are going to need some convincing.
Do they work for currency?
They do, but our, shall we say, problems back on Earth are getting in the way of our ability to continue earning currency at the moment, and that might be more pressing to them.
You mean
Given
your
your
lovely
connect-
relationship with the arms dealer? Or do you mean
Oh, the
your
arms
relationship
dealers.
with the mega corporation of the United Kingdom known as the Crown Estate, from which you have one of their corporate kids with you?
I'm more worried about Crown than I am about Bison. Bison's taken his licks from us, and I'm sure he is recovering. But if he comes after us, he'll get more than he's bargained for.
Be careful Bison does not throw in with the sweet shop to... They're out of his league, but if they can use him to find you, they will.
Yeah.
And even if that means giving him resources to do so, somebody with a vendetta is, and stupid, is far more dangerous than... Don't underestimate. And as for the Crown Estate, unfortunately that is not a problem I can help you with. I do not have the pull to... They are a mega corporation. I am a runaway mercenary.
And I guess that takes us back to One Longs.
I can give you One Longs. I can give you possible contacts. How much help those contacts can give you would be down to yourselves. But as for a direct intervention or prevention of such things, I will be here on Mars with Mason and Ryan.
I understand. Which, you know, I wouldn't expect anything different given the situation. I appreciate that my position's clear, but the others will need recompense they deem suitable for the risk.
I will offer, and if they accept, they accept. If they do not, that is down to them. The only one I care about is yourself.
Do you have another way to... We need another body. I can't be two people.
How so?
Well, if I'm there being Ryan, who's being Mason.
You will have a synth posing as Ryan.
Posing as Mason.
Posing as Mason, sorry. As long as you're on the ball as Ron, this might work.
Okay. If I have to go alone, I will. But I'd prefer if my crew were backing me up.
As would I. I can only offer the One Longs.
Okay.
You silently hear 413X cheering.
The sound of Philip clapping.
Oh, no.
How much?
You can have 500,000 now, and I'll give you another 500,000 when you land.
Each?
Give me a persuasion check.
Uh, 21.
How many is each?
Three.
Noted. Ryan sort of looks at Bubblegum in a sort of like, really? Deal.
There's only one thing I'll ask for myself, and it goes to your points about contacts.
Okay.
Any information, any people that you know that are involved in illegal shipment of medicaments from Earth to off-planet systems and intercepting of those medicament shipments for illegal use.
I can't right now, but I can get said information to you. Or at least enough for a starting point if it was something you were to pursue.
I'm already pursuing it. Anything extra I get will be useful.
Then I shall try to open as many doors as I can for you, Joe.
Thank you. I'll make the offer, and I'll let you know.
Okay.
They haven't been responding on comms. I may need to head back, but I'll send a message now, and I'll wait a little time before we go on. And I will basically send a message out to the group. Got a job. 3 million One Longs total. 1.5 now. 1.5 on delivery to Earth from Mars. Bit of risk involved. We'll piss off the sweet shop.
Pack, you've never heard of the sweet shop.
I like money.
That's true. Anyone respond? Philip?
It's my
Your
comms back.
your comms was only around Philip's area, like Philip's area, but you know what I mean. Philip blocked him out.
All right, I'm just gonna go. Hey, yeah, that's fine. Phil is currently seconded away. Had to give him a trim. Just going to get him some medical help. If you meet me in by the docks, I can take you to my safe house and where hopefully we can patch him up and make sure he's okay.
You're still out cold at this time, Philip, because of time and three-way splits. So, do you get up to leave after your message?
Like, is that a yes?
Brilliant. That was a yes. Money good.
Fallen through it. Do you respond?
Click.
You take that
Click,
as a
click.
Yeah. What did you just call me?
Yes, twice the no.
Yeah. Philip, clap once. Hang on. You're still out cold, Philip, so you don't have your message.
Alright. Okay, I'll look over Bubblegum and go, okay, they're in. And then I will, is there any,
A little bit chum in.
I'll say, have you got a keypad?
For what?
Larry's number. He's a bit old school.
Rotary phone.
He's dead. I try to ring that. He's dead. 25 minutes later. I can take Larry's number, yes.
Okay, I will
Pass it over.
give her a Larry's number some way, shape or form.
Do you know where he is now?
I am
Check the news.
guessing. He's either still running, still riding a bike around the docks, or in jail.
Ah, the bike. That was him.
Vespa.
It's got two wheels and an engine.
Space Vespa. Please put space in front of it.
I heard the comms.
Yeah. He doesn't do subtle.
That is good. It means me being subtle will be easier. Mason, she looks across to Mason. Yeah? You're going to stay with me and your dad now, and John's going to protect you from afar. And he looks at you. Are you leaving?
I have to go back to Earth, Mason, so that I can protect you.
From afar.
From afar. In a galaxy. Far away. Okay. And he just dives on you for a big hug.
I'll hug him back.
I'll stay with you. And Dad. And Ryan sort of like...
I'll look over Bubblegum. I don't mean to be callous, but and I'll slide over my cred chip.
Break that paper.
She takes that cred chip, plugs it into the device on her forearm. On the screen, you see 3 seashells appear on the screen, like a logo.
She doesn't know how the 3 seashells work.
Meatheads.
Just alone.
She,
I don't understand.
Larry
the
definitely
three
doesn't know the 3
seashells.
seashells work. She puts in whatever details she needs to. You see the green woo-woo on your cred chip. She passes it back to you. Upon checking it, you are 1.5 million at 1 longs in credit.
Okay.
2. Because it's 500 each, correct? Oh no, you took 3.
No,
Yeah,
I specifically said 3.
Yeah, 1.5 mil. Yeah.
So, where do I meet the synth? I'll pick it up.
If you go to the docks, there will be a older grandmother with a child, exactly the same in feature as Mason. She is aware of what you look like. She is aware of your, if you are Approaching her, she will assume and check in with me.
When you say what I look like,
What you currently look like.
I'll look over at Ryan, smile a little, and slide my pack around. I think we're better off giving her Ryan's description. And then I'll open up my disguise kit and get to work.
It's like getting the foundation out. Just running the bleach through the air, you know what I mean? Okay, so you can do your... Give me a performance on.
I can't remember what the disguise kit...
It allows you to apply your proficiency in the role I asked for. So give me a performance check. If you are not proficient, you are allowed to add your proficiency.
Cool.
So if you're already proficient, it doesn't really matter.
That is an 18.
18. In the short time that you do it, it's not bad. Mason has a little bit of a giggle at you as he sees you making yourself look like his dad. Ryan just stares at you.
I look at Ryan and said, I've learned a couple of new tricks.
Ryan's sort of like, I think so. I don't have that freckle there, you know what I mean?
I look at him and say, you really should see me in heels.
Bubblegum's just sat there looking at you, looking back to Ryan, looking at you, looking back to, as you two converse. And he's like, that one time. Yeah. And you reminisce. Ian, while all this is going on,
Howdy.
you literally arrive at Dorm 2 when you get the message from Jean regarding lots of one-longs for going to Earth. You go looking for Charlie, Chrlei. They own a fast food joint, as it were, back on Earth. The global franchise is Master Wong's, and they literally are the food supplier. But here, franchises aren't that big a thing. You kind of set up on your own and do what you can. And he just owns a bit of a fast food sort of cafe type thing. It's basically you walk in. It's almost all you can eat, but there's quite a lot of cheap alcohol absorbing food here.
It's a kebabby or greasy spoon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dome 2. Dome 2 is another recreational dome, but it's more of it's less seedy and more physically beneficial from a fitness perspective, or they do sports here, they do relaxation, they do, body comfort rather than the seedier sides of such things. Again, cheap and cheerful, you are on Mars, but it is another recreational dome without the seediness. There are still a fair amount of bars and pubs and whatever terminology folk use for their drinking establishments and such, and several food joints, whether they be promoting the healthiest shake on the planet or stodge up your booze. But Charlie's is a very obvious, you know where it is and can get there fairly easy. But you know him to be a chop shop augment medic.
Cool. I'm gonna head on in. Head to the counter and say, hey, can I speak to Charlie, please?
You hear the fryers at the back as whatever they claim to be food is being cooked. The person in front of you is a very large chap, greasy beard, big apron on, covered in grease. Charlie, you got a visitor? All the customers in there just kind of look and they carry on about eating. No one paid a blind bit of attention of anything, not suspicious. Charlie comes out, very small, skinny chap. Has a look of yourself and Jean in ethnicity. I don't know how to say that. But yeah.
At least you say my name right tonight.
Ethnicity.
Ethnicity. There you go. And there's a fair amount of age about them, but they look kind of. Charlie's got a shitload of augments on him, but very small augments, so it's not like a arm. He's got like a couple of fingers are done, one of his eyes, his hip. He's got a bit of a limp, but only because the augmented hip he applied to himself is bigger than his other hip, so he's kind of forced a limp upon himself. All these augmentations so far that you've noticed are just everyday life beneficial. They're not like, oh, I can fly now, or I'm super strong. They're just beneficial augments. Kind of, he's a bit of a tinker, and he's created his own little augments with the very little resources he's got, and he's experimented on himself and then sells them on. But he comes up. Pack. You hungry?
Not at the moment, Charlie. I do need to put in an order for something a little bit more custom though.
Oh, takeaway. Okay, just go to the takeaway door on the side, and I'll meet you there.
Lovely. See you in a moment.
And he goes back. You go around the side of the building, and there is a window that you would go to apply to retrieve your takeaway. Charlie's there straight away. He puts the shutter window down, and then opens the side door next to the window and lets you in. You walk in. You've been here a handful of times, mainly in it because Charlie's an alright bloke. You know, it's sometimes nice to just have someone you can chat shit about to rather than be 100% like paranoid all the time. But yeah, he's a decent chap, and he's kind of got the rule of don't piss anyone off and don't allow anyone to piss you off. So he's kind of liked by all, and he's a very neutral entity on the planet, or at least within the Dome cities. Because who knows what's on the rest of the planet? Doo-doo. He takes you to a little workshop, and it's like going into a very stereotypical Santa's workshop back in the day. There's small vices everywhere, there's files, there's screwdrivers, there's hammers, there's very rudimentary tools in here with the odd whirring and whizzing of certain tools that powered by modern age. And then there are like a couple of eyeballs that kind of like are half, like some of the segments are half popped, and then they've got like an LED pupil, then there's like the odd ear. There's very small augmented trinkets that he seems to be working on. And he pulls up two spinny stools, both like the leather and cracked bits coming off them, the sponge showing through. This is old school. And he just sits with it.
So I have an acquaintance who has lost a bit of weight in the left shoulder region. Left shoulder region.
Your other left back.
My other left. And they could do with a little bit of help and maybe a new trinket, if you have any.
Well, a full arm.
Yeah, I had to chop it off.
He sort of pauses, reaches for a tin cup, pours a very clear liquid into it from a oil canister, takes a mouthful of it, puts it back down. You chopped off your acquaintance's arm?
He asked me to. They realised that there was a tracker in their arm.
You could have. That'd have been easier. I could have removed the tracker.
I didn't think about it at the time. They were kind of how to describe. They were giving off this kind of electrical aura that was just messing with all the systems. And
did they try to tamper with it?
Not directly. I think something happened to them that tampered with it and caused it, but they didn't realize it at the time. I had a look after I chopped it off, but
it's usually bio-trackers. They are responsive to behaviour. So the heat you described could be they may have tried to tamper with it. Where is it now? Because they're very accurate.
I stashed it somewhere else.
How quickly after removing it? Did you tend him first? Or them first?
Yeah, just a little bit of tending.
Okay. There is a very good chance whoever's tracking may know. So if it's one of your safe houses, probably write that one off. I can arrange another, but I would definitely write that one off.
That's fine. That's fine.
Where's your
Did
friend
like
now?
what?
Outside?
No, because they were unconscious, so I stashed them under the bed.
He pours another. I'm hearing this and I'm like, what am I doing? He pours another.
It's been a day, Charlie. It's been a day.
He pours more drink from the oil can into the. Takes a large gulp.
Yeah, it's been a couple of days.
Who bio tracking is expensive? Who is your acquaintance? I don't need to know.
Yeah.
However, whoever is tracking them paid a lot of money for them to be findable.
Yeah.
I probably can sort them out. An arm, I could probably. They're gonna need. Whew. I did not do the removal myself, so depending on the damage you've done, what tool did you use? Did you correct tendons as such, or like did you have medical help?
It was
Fucking spoon.
what was it, katana?
You used. He pours another drink.
And I dislocated the shoulder first, so it was a clean cut.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
That's always.
Yeah.
You okay. I think a couple of possibilities have come to the forefront of my mind as you share this. Takes another drink. You did check he wasn't dead, yes?
Oh, he's not dead.
Okay, so that's a positive. Well, he looks at his watch. Let's take a break there for about 10 or 15 minutes because it's 9:30 and the Cybermaster needs a toilet. So, so we're gonna have a break. Charlie and Pac's conversation will carry on after the break. Thank you very much for tuning in so far. We're just gonna go away, get some drinks, go to the toilet if we need it, and we'll be back as soon as we can, guys. All right. Thank you for tuning in and stick around for the second part. Good evening all, Polar Knights. We'll be back in 10 minutes. We're just having a break, Polar Knights. Don't go anywhere. Keep watching. Love you. We'll be back. We're having a break. Stick around. Hello, hopefully we're back. Hey up, Dwarf Warrior. Hey up, Polar Knight. Sorry about that, we went on break just as you turned up. Dwarf Warrior, good to see you. Hopefully you're still here and not...
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
We were just talking about you, that is true. Your ears must have been burning, lad. Right, where were we? We're on Mars. Cyberpunk, Dragon Turtle Games, Untitled Charity, social media, Syrinscape, 200 bits. Let's do this. Just before the break, these lot are split in a 3.5 sort of manner. We've got 413X who's currently sat on the buildings. 413X and Jean are in Dome 3. And 413X is currently sat on the rooftops, basically overseeing, overlooking, overviewing, that's not what I was going to call it. What is it? On XCOM. Overwatching. Just to keep an eye on his lovely friend John. John has interacted with Ryan and Bubblegum. Yes, I said those two words. In regards to Mason and the plan to travel back to Earth in the guise of Ryan with a synth that will be pretending to be Mason for a chunky amount of one-longs. Philip is about to wake up again and remember that he volunteered the removal of his arm via sword because he's an absolute whammer. But we'll see where that goes. Yeaton or Pack is core to this.
So well tonight.
Core to this whammerness by agreeing to chop his arm off with a sword. Has gone looking and has gone to Charlie's, a friend of hers that she knows on these Dom Season Mars to tinker in augmentations and such, so might be able to help. We will jump back in on the conversation with Yeaton and Charlie. He will take a swig from the oil again. Thought process of all the things you said.
I have another canister that you can drink out of.
It's fine. I've got more canisters. It's fine. Well, the first thing we need to do is try and get him here. Or in fact, I might need to come to him. I don't think travel would be good.
No. That's why I thought I'd come get you.
Give me a moment. And he goes around and he basically gets a toolbox. Starts taking out all the oil-covered tools in there that are very, very basic and very, they're very basic. And starts filling them with other tools. A couple of small battery packs to power some of these tools. He starts throwing in stim packs. There are several what look like large saline pouches, but have probably got more than saline in them. Like nanomorphine. But they're in there. It's all about the nano, baby. And he fills up this toolbox, and he goes out to the large greasy customer-facing chap. Whispers in his ear. He nods. Charlie comes back to yourself. So let's go. And you guys make your way back to the tram and start heading back to Dome 1, where the docks are, to go back to your safe house that's totally not compromised. Philip, as said before, you wake up screaming in agony. You'll have to excuse the time switch people in the chat. Philip, you wake up in agony. There is a message from Jean. You care not reading it. You have other things to think about right now. You just see one-longs and Earth. You're like, whatever, man. Give me the good stuff. You managed to pull yourself from under the bed, more accidentally by driving around in agony, as the pain is now super present. Give me a perception check with disadvantage. Don't believe you got paid, you're lying to me.
8.
Alright, 8. The thudding of your own blood pumping through your body is in your head. You kind of fuzzily look at the digital clock on near the bedside of the cot bed that you were under, and it is later on in the afternoon by a good couple of hours. But you're in a room. There's no Pack or Yeon. There's no fiery red arm of death. There is blood stained everywhere and a very small pinkish patch where someone's tried to wipe it up with a baby wipe. Cotton earbuds everywhere. There's heavily used basic first aid stuff everywhere. Are you running round with the emerald sheath and ruby sheath still on your back?
I only had the emerald. I only had the ruby, sorry.
Sapphire, sorry. Who was the sapphire?
Not me, I had the ruby. Let me just check my inventory. Open, you bitch. Yeah, I've only got the ruby scabbard.
Who has the sapphire scabbard? Does Larry have the sapphire scabbard?
No.
Not me.
So basically, what happened was we didn't pick it up.
I was going to say, I don't think anyone picked it up.
Cool. Noted.
No, Larry's got it. Larry does have it.
Does he?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure. I am 95% sure Larry has it.
I know you separated them.
Why Larry, though? I can't remember why Larry.
Why
Because he wanted it.
He likes
Hey,
the
we got
sparkly
bits.
things.
We got bits. Speaking of sparkly things.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Dwarf
Dwarf
Warrior.
Warrior.
Got a reroll.
Yay!
Here you go.
Where's
So
my
I'm
Can
finally
we
getting
roll?
paid. So, yeah, there's no pack, no Yeon, no arm. Just you in a heavily blood-stained, very small room, and it's a few hours past an absolute agony racing through your entire body. What's your plans, Philip?
Is the hole still bleeding, or is
It
it
is.
raw or
It is weeping.
cool?
It is bleeding, but it's not like pouring out of you. You are apparently of an intelligence to know that you won't die imminently, but you need your wound tending to.
Yeah. I've got this skill called healing.
Cool.
I'll try and find the actual wording for it.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't have a skill called healing.
I do. So
You're not a hacker, Bob,
Yeah.
correct?
Not like on a
yeah.
I mean, I've got medicine. That's an actual skill.
Oh. Well, I've got one called healing.
Is this part of Korporate Kid?
No, it's part of hacker.
Is it?
Yeah.
Alright, let's get on the old book, lads.
Don't think it's a skill then.
Hacker.
No, it's a skill.
Healing. First level.
Healing, you hack together a basic version of a medical implant using illicit plans stolen or bought from the net. Using an action, you can touch a creature. That creature regains a number of hits equal to 1d8 plus my tech ability modifier. You can use this ability twice before completing a short or long rest.
Cool. Roll your d8 and add your tech ability modifier.
This is more, I sort of want to just sort of do this just to stop it bleeding.
Roll your 1d8 plus tech ability modifier.
9.
9. So you activate the implant that wasn't stolen or bought from the net, that was actually gifted you throughout your training as a corporate kid. And immediately you are doing this through gritted teeth. So I'm going to halve the number of hit points you get. But what it has done is given you 4 more hours before the wound will require tending again, otherwise it will bleed more. You have slowed down the bleeding to nothing more than, if disturbed, will bleed, but without disturbance will probably hold steady. You are still in a shit ton of pain, but are able to function now. So you haven't really, don't worry about your hit points. Are you on 1 hit point?
No.
No, you're fine. Don't worry about your hit points. You've just given yourself 4 hours longer to live.
Lovely.
And you can use it twice apparently before completing a short or long rest.
Yeah.
By the way, being sparked out for 3 hours does not count as a short rest after having your arm cut off.
That's fine.
Cool.
Yeah, that wasn't restful at all.
So I fucked up the receiver. Sorry, I screwed up the transmitter.
Yep.
That was wired into, I'm assuming, my helmet, which was also attached to the advanced HUD and everything.
Yep. That is all part.
All
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
an all-in-one, mate.
Yeah,
But
so
you
I'm gonna
only
take-
you only fucked up the out, did you not?
Yeah, I only fucked up the out. I can still
No.
receive stuff.
You can receive stuff, but you can't put out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So I'm going to reach into my bag and pull out a
Have a
phone.
And
Have
Nokia
you got a
32
phone?
pen.
Yeah.
A Snake on it because he's that kind of hacker.
Yeah.
Snake
One.
2.
Can play Snake one-handed.
Sweet.
And
I'm not going to be rude.
Yeah, we can all. Hello.
and I will call John.
John.
Yeah.
You get a call from a
The log
number
phone
you
call.
do not recognise.
I'll be like,
It's definitely coming from a mobile device, not a HUD or advanced implemented comms kit.
I'll do whatever I know how to do to try and disguise my location before answering.
Caller ID.
It basically looks like Larry's ringing you on a number you don't recognise.
The phone who this?
You want to try and disguise your location? Alright. Just give me a tech roll, straight up tech roll.
13.
13. Cool, you're pretty confident that you've turned off enough of your GPS stuff, mainly the one in your HUD and such.
I will answer and just say, Larry?
Like, close, but not quite. It's F1.
Oh, hi F1. What? Is everything okay? What's wrong with your comms?
So I screwed it up deliberately. You know, when we was in the jet, and I said you're gonna have to trust me. You go that way, and I'll go that way.
Yeah.
So I walked towards the guards. I then deliberately screwed up my transmitter, which apparently, because Crown owned me, was in my arm, because I bio something or other.
Korporate kid.
And so it turns out, yeah, they weren't looking for us. It's fine. We'll carry on. Apparently, it turns out those guards weren't looking for us.
I will say every word he's saying is
let me
from great
guess.
teeth.
They were looking for bubble gum.
I didn't stop to ask because Larry happened.
You've never heard of bubblegum, mate. Don't know what he's on about.
Yeah.
Larry.
Unfortunately, it turns out screwing up with a bio lock or a bio transmitter really fucking hurts. So I'm now missing an arm.
Shit. Where are you?
Yeah, got a clue.
I'm in a room which is got a cot, a bedside table, blood, and a door. Like
Baby wipe.
and there is one used.
While
baby.
he's saying this, I'll just like I'm gonna in a second message with caps locks on. I'm gonna just type out where is F1 and send to all.
John, are you there?
on
The
the
F1 is next supposed to be in Silverstone.
on the
I told you go to the docks and I'll take you to him. I'm getting him some medical help. I told you this.
Okay, sorry, I missed the bit about F1. I thought it just said meet you there. Okay.
No, I told you that they had an incident and they were a little lighter on their left-hand side and I was going to get them medical help.
Okay. Yes, I did. I remember that bit. I
Yes.
didn't realise lighter meant lost an arm.
I didn't want to say it out loud in public.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll be there
Cut his
soon.
freaking arm off.
I don't look like I did the last time you saw me. But I'm still carrying the same stuff, so you should be able to recognise me.
on the plus side, John, I don't really look the same as the last time you saw me either. But
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're a lot
that
more
said-
harmless now.
that said,
Oh, no. Right,
it's
Sean,
just-
when
I've
you
just-
when
I've
you
just-
get here,
just
just
remembered, John. I've just remembered.
Fix him.
Keep an eye out because apparently my brain not working properly. Don't know why. Something about pain.
The greatest
Keep
role
an eye
player
out
I've
for
ever
Crown.
met in my life.
Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for Crown, John, because if you screw with Biolox, they ain't happy.
Sean, are you talking to Philip right now? Because I can't get in contact with him.
Oh yeah, sorry. He's on the other line.
Okay, cool. Just tell him to stay put, because I did leave him a note, but just tell him to stay put.
It's like
Bring
the old-fashioned
painkillers.
three-way call.
I want painkillers.
Not in my head,
Tell him I'm on my way
Like-
with all the drugs.
Nano cocodamol.
Hey,
Get a tramadol for you.
Codamol.
F1, Ewan is on her way back to you. She'll be there soon with the drugs. I'll be there as soon as I can.
Stay
Yeah.
put. Tell him to stay put.
Don't go anywhere. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Right. Well, I'm just gonna sit on this bed with my gun out. You've now got my number.
One on bandit.
Yeah. I don't know where that came from. I just sort of heard someone say one-armed bandit. It's fine. Give us 3 rings, John, when you're outside, and I'll open the door.
Okay, I don't just so you know, I don't look the same.
I don't care
Okay.
at the moment, John. I'm
I'll be
missing
there.
an
I'll
arm.
be there as soon as. And I'm like, Ewan,
Yeah.
have
If you're not
you got a
looking,
medic with you?
yes, I do. When you get to the thing, if you see me, just come up and say, "I'm here for the one on bandit." Then I'll know it's you.
Understood.
See you in a bit.
I'm like, and then I'll just be like, and I'll send a private message to 413X and just go, how did he lose an arm?
Click, click. Oh, God. Cool.
This unit still looks the same as when you left it.
I'll look over at Bubblegum and just go,
She's staring at you as if to be like, trouble in the hills?
no more than usual. I will. I'm gonna head off. I'll pick up the synth as soon as one of my friends seems to have been injured somehow.
Mason puts his hand on your arm and goes, I told you he was stupid. You cannot
Yes.
write this shit.
Yes, you did.
Don't let
Okay.
him die. He's important.
Thank you, Mason. I will. Yeah, I'll get there as soon as I can.
Bye, Uncle Gene. And he gives you another hug and then pulls his chair around towards Ryan, and they both just embrace each other. Tears are flowing, cowboy music playing.
I'll
Beautiful poetic moment.
I'll look over Bubblegum as I sort of do a little bit of a sharp and kind of glance back and look at her and just say, look after him.
Don't die.
Don't plan on it. And I'll walk out.
Cool kids don't look back. Tavern blows up. 413X puts his sunglasses on. Never liked him anyway. Click, click. So, as all this is all, again, very time shifty, Philip, you get off the comms and you're sort of like just pacing, gritting your teeth. I don't. It's going through the thought process of the last few hours, but probably not. You hear a on the door, as you didn't hear the approaching footsteps with your perception of 8.
I ain't doing anything.
Nothing?
I'll get the gun out
Cool.
and I'll I don't know, move the bedside table out the way and behind the bedside table. I don't know. Just
Well, I can't work with I don't know.
I'll just stand. I'll stand in the room with my gun out, trying to look mean.
What are you gonna do with your pistol though?
Hey!
Spud
To
gun.
be honest, to be fair, I'm pretty sure if they opened the door and just saw a guy with one arm covered in blood holding his I'm pretty sure they'd just be like,
We'll
yeah,
come
wrong.
back. We'll come back. Wrong room, mate. Wrong room. You crack on, son. We'll give you 3 minutes and then we're coming in. You hear a as though a large scanning machine's going on outside the door. You hear another thud. F1L1P. Put the gun down. Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
No.
Okay. Roll initiative, Philip.
Nah, mate.
I'm so
The room's that
sorry.
small, we don't need a map.
I'll be the gentleman and let you go first.
Of my, what? Is that? You let me go first, or me and my two mates?
You and your two mates, obviously.
So
I mean,
what was your
unless you rolled less than a nat 1.
I'll tell you in a sec.
Here's not your day or weeks.
I got a
I'm
6,
sorry.
an 8, and a 6. So you could have had a chance of going first.
So to be fair, I rolled a nat 1, but then didn't add the 6 that I normally get. So I'm technically on 7.
Cool.
You son of a.
So you're second, not them. The door, a bright, fiery orange light goes around the edge of the door, and then it just falls into the room flat. And you see 3.
And squashes me.
That takes your leg off. You see in the hallway 3 Crown Estate retrieval specialists who you are very aware of and have probably worked with in your training days. All in their long Neo/Morpheus branded trench coats with their manacles and such. And the guy that brought the door down went first, so the other 2 are ready to come in. The 3 of them are coming to apprehend you. Your turn, Philip.
What are they armed with?
Assault rifles, pistols, batons, manacles.
Okay.
4 heads.
2 arms apiece.
Arms, yeah.
BBs.
Yeah. So,
No two-handed weapons, Philip.
oh shit. That was going to be my next question. I guess I'm just leveling my gun at the person closest to me and just being like, you don't have to do this, lads.
Give me a persuasion check with disadvantage. I will warn you the DC is fairly high because not everyone is a renegade.
We do have a reroll as well.
And you do have a reroll.
Persuasion, yeah?
With disadvantage, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to use that reroll. 15.
15.
Yeah. I rolled a 16 and a 19, so it was either going to be 15 or 18.
You get -1.
Brilliant.
Not a people person.
You say you rolled a 16 and got -1?
Yeah.
Cool. So, you pull the gun out, you level it. You don't have to do this, lads. There's a brief moment where they look at one another. Look at you. On the contrary, Philip, this is exactly what we do. I will say that is your bonus action, mate, to get that line out.
Alright.
You've got movement in a 10-foot room. There's 3 people. Yeah, you could try and Benny Hill it on the spot. You've got whatever your actions allow you as a combat hacker.
It's alright, I'm working it. Oh, actually.
You must have something.
I think you were fairly
Yeah.
accurate when you said we weren't going to get to Earth until Christmas.
Yeah.
Is Philip left-handed?
No,
Go.
fortunately. I'm just gonna pull the trigger on one of them then.
Are you a combat hacker?
I am.
You get 2 attacks.
Oh, it does.
Gonna need him.
Yep.
What fighting style did you take?
Sorry.
What fighting style did you take?
Marksman, so +2 to ranged.
On your attack rolls, but
Yeah.
they're within 5 feet of you, mate, so you're at disadvantage.
That's fine. I still get +6.
Which is a total of.
Is it still +6? Yeah.
A disadvantage, mate.
Yeah. So 15. The first hit.
Total, yeah?
Yeah.
So the guy in front of you, the 15 hits, just.
Lovely. 2d8 plus 1. He takes 15 points of damage.
As the bullet hits the composite weave armor that they've got gifted to them by a mega corporation for retrieving folk, the bullet doesn't do as much damage as you initially thought,
Okay.
but it still hurts like a
Good.
mother kipper. You got another attack?
Yeah. 13.
You missed, mate. So just as you fire the first one, as he's point blank, and as he sort of like brings himself in pain as the bullets hit him but not pierced flesh, you fire again, but you just, as he in his movement, you've gone bang bang, and the second one's just gone over his shoulder and hit the wall in the hallway.
Cool.
That's your turn. Well, that's it, I think. You've got movement
Yeah.
left, but you don't have any actions to force anything through them, so you can't really move through them without having your action to push or anything.
Yeah, that's fine. How close to them am I?
5 foot. If you were looking at squares, the guy you
Yeah.
just shot is in the square opposite you,
That's fine.
and the square behind them are the 2 others.
Cool.
So when they step into the room, there's nothing in the room bar you 4 and a cot bed.
And an open door.
So it goes you, him, the door, and then them 2 simultaneously moving around. So you now have 3 people in front of you. Diagonal left, straight in front of you, diagonal right. Yeah?
Right.
The
Yep.
one straight in front of you is the one that put the door down, so they've already had their turn. You then fired. It's now the other 2's turn. The first one pulls out his baton, tries to hit you in the face with it. 17.
That does it.
Ten points of damage. Bludgeoning.
Yep.
That was max, mate. That was max.
That's fine.
16.
Yep. Do you have to equal or equal? Or...
Meet or beat?
Yeah, that's fine then. Yeah.
5 points of bludgeoning.
Oh.
The second one pulls out his baton. 15.
No.
18.
Yes.
5 points of bludgeoning. So they both step either side of you, pull their batons out, and start beating into you with the batons.
Just because I'm a glutton for punishment,
I was going to lower your AC for missing an arm, but carry on.
I was going to ask. The person on the left, surely when they're swinging, would be swinging.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So what I'll do is I'll lower your AC. Instead of giving them advantage, I'll lower your AC by 1. Yeah? So your current AC is lowered by 1. I don't think they need advantage. Alright? I'm just putting it out there.
3 of them, 1 of me.
It's now top of the round, and the guy you just shot. Yeah?
Yep.
Reaches, pulls the manacles from his, or one set of the manacles from his belt, and throws them at you. And they spring to life. Can you give me a reflex save, please? Is it reflex? Yeah, reflex.
$21.
21. As the manacles try to clasp onto your... it's advantageous not having the other arm, because they try to clasp on the empty arm first. Not intelligent enough to just, you know... The other one sort of clasps onto you, but you pull your arm out before it connects, and they land on the floor. He just smiles at you. Your turn?
I'm going to pick him up and throw him back at him.
They will. Okay. Give me an intelligence check.
15.
You know they won't try and manacle him when he throws them back. I'm not saying you have to change your action, I'm just letting you know they won't cuff him.
It's fine. I'll just throw him back at him and just be like, I have 1 arm. What are manacles going to do, mate?
Cool. That's your action.
Yeah.
Cool. The other 2? 14?
No.
15?
Yes.
4 points of bludgeoning. The other one? Not 20?
No.
12 points of bludgeoning. $15.
Yes.
4 points of bludgeoning. Top of the round.
Yep.
Thanks for the advice. And he pulls out his baton. 2.
Nope.
I rolled a 2 without pluses. Not 20.
No.
15 points of bludgeoning.
Yeah.
Are you still standing?
No.
You don't say it like that, man. You've said yes for like 9 fucking rounds.
He fell over after the first blow. He just thought he'd entertain you.
Just been beating on him.
To be fair, I'm only now at -9, so it's alright.
I would say you took a whooping.
Oh yeah. I start on like 46.
That's not bad, mate.
Yeah.
For a wizard. So you go in.
Yeah. Shit wizard.
They come through the door. Not that sort of wizard. They come through the door and basically, in your usual stubborn self, missing 1 arm, gun out, you force them to beat you into submission. The last thing you remember is it slightly going out, a bit dark, your eyes dimming. The pain is still horrendous, but now included with lots of body blows. The odd one that may have tapped you on the shoulder hurt effect on probably the one that put you out. You are aware of what's going on for a brief moment before passing out again as they manacle your left arm to your belt buckle and your ankles, and you are dragged from the hut and you go all black. So you and Charlie, forward 3x, what are you doing, mate? Just
hanging out on a rooftop, apparently.
You see Jean leave the Western Bar alone. In fact, give me a perception check.
$28.
Cool. You see somebody in the attire of Jean and are pretty confident that it is Jean. knowing the past you've had, the conversations that you've had recently, earwigging on certain comms, etc., you're pretty sure that is, you're 100% sure that is Jean.
I'll scale down the building then and stalk after.
Revealing yourself or still in the shadows?
In the shadows.
The shadows. You follow Jean back to the trams. Ian, you are flying back with Charlie. Are you going to the docks to meet Jean, or are you going straight to Philip?
I'm gonna go straight to Philip so I can drop Charlie off and then go find Sean.
Cool. Again, this is all happening simultaneously. You get back. You take Charlie. He follows you. He's kind of looking around, reminiscing. I've not been in Dome 1 for a while. And he follows you through. You take him to the safe house. You get up the stairs. The door. You see the scorch marks around the door frame. Your door is flat in front of you. There are bullet holes in the wall behind you. There's an empty shell on the floor. There is the scene that you left minus a Philip.
Sean, do you still have a way to contact Philip? Sean?
You're muted, Pop.
Yes.
He is gone, and I think someone took him. There seems to be an altercation at my safe house. If you can find a way to contact him or track him, please do. I'm going to start searching for him now.
Understood. If someone's taken him, they're going to probably take him to the docks or to a safe house, and it's probably Crown. Do you know any Crown safe houses?
No, I do not. I will see what I can do. Charlie?
Yes?
Do you know any Crown safe houses or where they might stash some prisoners?
No, the corporations don't hold a lot of sway here.
Okay.
At least not Crown.
Yeah, so they may stand out, but don't know anyone, any place they could be. So I'm going to just start searching. I am at the dock, so I'm going to start searching. Okay, right.
So, Ian, what are you doing with Charlie? Taking him with you?
Charlie, do you mind helping me? Because as much as I've been here a while, a lot of people trust you, and I just want to find my friend, make sure he's okay.
I'll do my best, but obviously if it brings upon
Oh yeah, if it
bad
puts you at risk at any
publicity,
point,
then I'll
you can
bow.
go. That is fine. I don't want to put you at risk either.
So what do you need help with, Ian?
We're just like asking people around if they've seen a bunch of people take him. He's a one-armed man. He wouldn't be very inconspicuous. And I'm guessing Crown took him because he used to work. Well, he kind of worked for them. Yeah. So someone might have said something or seen something.
If Crown took him,
Yeah.
I don't mean to be the bearer of ill news, but how are you getting him back? Even if we find him. I mean,
I'll deal with that.
I would say they've either paid or thrown their weight around to say they get to do what they want to do, and they probably plan to. Well, they'd have killed him already, I'd have thought, but if they're taking him away, they're probably just going to use a ship to fly away. So I thought that'd be the dock area would be the best place to look.
Yeah. So let's head to the dock. I have to at least try.
It's a long way
You
to
can back
come
for
just
me.
to grab somebody.
Is there a way to trace his mobile phone?
If it's live, yeah.
I will totally try and do that.
You totally give me a technology roll, mate.
Technology, or can I use my hacking device to do it?
Use your hacking device.
Means I get to add my proficiency bonus.
Cool.
Which is still not a great roll. 11.
We got a re-roll.
You think this one's worth a reroll?
Do we think finding a lost, probably unconscious, if not dying member of the group is worth finding?
Do you think it'll work? It's more.
It's a solid reroll. It takes me up to a non-nat 20.
Cool. In the same way that you've that you are aware of Philip's skill to block comms, there is a complete dead attempt at contacting any communication device regarding Philip.
Yeah.
Which confirms
Cool.
a couple of things. Whoever has retrieved him is skilled in doing said things.
Is that kind of hacker?
Is that kind of hacker. And has obviously gone out of their way to send folk that is that kind of hacker.
Question
For who?
for you, for GM. Well, more of a question, more of a follow-up action from me. I am going to. Is there any way in which I can utilize the computing equipment I have access to, which is a personal computer and a hacking device, to try and scan for effectively wireless dead spots within the dock area?
No. But I'd have allowed Philip to do it.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're skilled in tech. I mean, part of your medical training, you have access to a lot of tech. But taking advantage of it for those sorts of things is generally in Philip's domain, not yours.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that.
Where are you when you're attempting to hack? Are you on the tram?
I am.
Off
I am.
in Dome
Yeah, I mean,
1, or on the Dome?
I'm trying to get there as fast as possible, so as close to Dome 1 as you let me get.
So
in
you'll
the time, so
you'll be definitely at Dome 1's tram station when this happens.
Okay.
All right. So whatever has happened, there is a small time gap between the lot of you.
Yeah.
But the dead zone's recent, which I will say will lead you to think that he's probably been nabbed more recently.
Okay.
Within minutes or hours, you do not know, but it's a more recent nabbing, because before you were obviously on a call to him. So
I'll send a message to everyone again, sort of in reply to Yun, just to say the mobile that Philip had is being blocked. I would suspect. I would suggest that whoever's got him is equipped with a similar set of skills to F1 himself.
With that skills.
I will find you. So, Ian, with advantage, you can either roll persuasion to talk to people to try and locate anything around Philip, or tracking to do it yourself. I will let you decide, and Charlie will give you the advantage on whichever one of those rolls.
Tracking.
Cool. Charlie is pretty much on your hip, and you see his eye extend telescopically as he's helping you track.
Right, that is. So I rolled a nat 1, but the other one was a 19, so I got 21.
Okay. Quickly checking the local area, the blood that you see around the place, some of it's dried, stained, some of it is a tiny bit fresher, but there's hardly any. Possibly because Philip did a really good job of patching up his wound. But there is a fairly new presence on the streets of muck and grime, and the floor itself have kind of got boot prints that are a bit fresher. They seem to be collective. There doesn't seem to be any drag marks, but there is the odd speckle of blood. And with your 21, you get the general gist of it heading back towards the dock area rather than further into the dome. Jean, you arrive at Dome 1 after your attempt on the tram to locate Philip. You are into the crowds again, and I will reiterate the size of the dock is horrendously big. Okay, so there are ships that come in here to go off into space. This is not a small, bus stop. When you get there, give me a perception check.
21. Sorry.
21. You see a woman in a long black trench coat. Her hair is like bleach blonde in a super tight ponytail, like almost giving her a facelift Her features are very, very set in fake smile pose. Very extravagant shades of blues and oranges in her eyeshadow makeup that sort of flick back. Her trench coat is fastened in front of her incredibly tightly, so there's no visual of what's beneath the trench coat, armour or otherwise, weapons, anything like that. But you do see the Crown Estate Crown logo on the upper left of the jacket, and she's looking around the place, and she's whatever she's just done, she's just had her finger to her ear and come off comms to somebody, but you're unaware of what was said or anything like that. But she's just stood at the docks waiting.
I'll tag her location on the hood and send it to 413X.
Cool. You, being close to Jean at 413X, you locate and destroy. You see the Crown Estate retrieval expert just stood on the docks solo. A bit of time passes as all this is happening.
I'll send a just send a follow-up message to say tracker or taker? Question mark.
Click, click, where? So you and Charlie make your way to the docks. You're pretty confident now this is the way they went, so you're less, nose to the ground. You're now walking through a stupidly busy, like a London train station, busy sort of populated amount of people. Things are fully back to, they've forgotten the commotion that Larry committed earlier, and they're trying to get back on with the logistics of getting these ships in and out. Ahead of you, about 80 feet, you can sort of see people sort of part and then close in again, part and close in again, as something is obviously moving through them. Give me a perception check.
That is 22.
You see 6 Crown Estate, all in their long black trench coats, and they have a hovering, almost stretcher type table that you see Philip strapped to, and the 6 of them are walking it through the crowd towards obviously the area where the ships are. So around you there are still the local enforcers of the dome.
Charlie?
Yes?
Feel free to get to where you need.
He puts his hand on your arm. Don't die stupidly.
Oh, if I die, it'll be a story worth telling.
No story, death. No death on Mars is a story worth telling. And he sort of gives you a little squeeze on the shoulder and he walks away.
Thank you.
What's just this is a GM question, and what is the? And I appreciate you, mate. You're happy to say, I've not been here enough to know this. What is the general population's opinion of the megacorps on Mars? Are they negative towards them? Is there some discontent?
I would say, just in your general few days here, speaking of Park, any interaction you've had, the fact
I would do, wouldn't I?
Yeah, you'll have a decent understanding. Basically, it's a case of if you ain't on Earth, we don't care. But if we're there, it's the whole we allow you to be there because we allow you to be there mentality. The fact that you don't work for us or interact with us or anything like that is because we allow it. So when they call upon that interaction, they expect it to be on the corporation's terms, if that makes sense.
Right.
So you got free reign in the garden until I tell you to come in for your dinner.
So there's a certain amount of resentment that comes with that.
There will be in some areas, but you live in a world that is very ambitious for people generally not earning anything, and the fact that they survive is they're paying off debt. Mars seems to be, or at least this collection of dome cities that you've interacted with seems to be self-sustaining in some small way. There's got to be a way that they're bringing in you know, they've got all these activities that you can take part in. There's things they sell. You know, they've got augmentations. They've got vehicles. There's a research facility in a mountain a couple of days away. You know what I mean? There's obviously a presence of coinage here, but you're unaware of the organisational aspects of these dome cities. Who's in charge? What's in charge? Even Yeon is only aware of the lower ranking side of. She knows who to speak to smuggle some stuff out. She doesn't get involved in anything beyond that. It's not her thing.
I need to.
Okay. I'll send Yun the coordinates of the Crown agent that I tagged on 413X's HUD as well, and just ask her any sign of Philip.
And I ping him the location. Yeah, he seems to be. I think I can see him on a stretcher. Well, there's a stretcher surrounded by 6 Crown guards. I am following now. I've sent Charlie off, the medic, because I'm anticipating a firefight.
Then let's get some help.
Please.
Can I spot now that Yun's given me the coordinates?
Advantage.
Yay for advantage. 21 again.
Cool. You do indeed see the 6 Crown Estate Retrieval experts with the hovering stretcher bed with Philip strapped to it, coming through the crowd about 50 feet from you, heading towards the bleach blonde-haired woman.
I will quickly scan the crowd nearby me of people that are generally looking in that direction, and I will just nonchalantly whisper to the one that I feel looks most local and just say, "What are those megacop people doing with that engineer guy that's injured?" And then I'll quickly move away from the person I just said that to and drift back into the crowd. And then I'll pick a second person.
People check first to see if you can read somebody well enough to know that your plan might work.
16.
16, cool. And then give me a deception check.
Oh, that's what I like. 24.
Cool. So you look around and you just notice this. She's clearly one of the engineering types. Probably works some of the maintenance areas of the dock. Maybe looks after some of the lifting machines and such. In her overalls, greasy face, oil all over and such. And she's just sort of staring, and you click that she's hard staring at the estate lot. And then you whisper in her ear, and you just see her nodding. She don't really pay attention to you. You're aware she's listening to you, but she's still hard staring, and she just sort of nods as you say that. And then you work your way around looking for other similar types that fit her body language, and start spreading the same sort of encouragement.
Yeah, and I'll also to one of them, I'll just say, I can't go far enough back in my notes quickly enough. I will drop in the name of the woman I slept with, and say, "Isn't that so and so that's on what's her face's shift?" Yeah, when I was at the bar with her the other night, she was drinking with him. What are they doing? Is that Crown?
All right, yeah. I can't remember the name myself, but
I will find it. I'll have noted it down. I just can't. I can't remember how long ago it was.
Fucking hell. Yeah. And again, they all start getting a bit, worked up. And you start seeing several of the engineers now sort of stepping away from their menial tasks that they're doing, and they're kind of walking towards that entourage. Phone 3X, you doing anything, or are you just staying on?
So, was there 6 people, and then one of them was completely separated from the others?
Yeah, so there's 6 with Philip, and then the bleach blonde-haired woman stood awaiting those 6. There's about a 50-foot gap between them at this moment in time.
I presume there are other people in the area.
Oh, it's very busy. It's a London train station busy, mate. It is a space dock, planetary space dock.
Okay. I'll move over to within about 20 feet of her.
Okay. Noted.
Stealthily, obviously. I'm gonna roll.
Yeah, you're in a new area, yeah. 80.
26.
Cool. You're very confident. And yeah. So, there's 50 feet between blonde-haired woman and Philip and the 6. You're all in time sync now, so what is it you want to do? The engineers are moving towards them, but there's still, it's not a case of, oh, let's just start smashing them in, but they're very, interested now in what Jean said to them.
I will.
Yeah, and you notice a load of engineers approaching. Philip's little stretcher bed, like, what the fuck?
Sean, are you seeing this?
Yep.
What is it?
And I will. I'll make sure I'm behind a wall of those engineers. Or as you know, I'm basically
over the shoulder.
yeah. I'm gonna be like, "Oi, what are you doing with our mate? Where are you taking him?" But then, as soon as I've said it, I'll kind of try and disappear back in the crowd again, right?
This is what proficiency in ventriloquism does.
Hey!
Unlike the last time ventriloquism was used in this.
20 sessions. It came true. 20 sessions.
Oh, so this is you. This is your doing. Cool. Right. What's your scheme? What's your play?
As you're shouting this, and then the call comes through from you, you hear a lot of cocking of automatic rifles as the 6 are now aiming outwards towards the crowd that's around them. And the one that appears to be of a lead of the 6 is basically back up, back away, and just aiming their gun at them, and they still move, and the engineers are kind of just circling them now. And then the blonde lady starts making her way towards them.
I'm like, my response to you is getting us some help.
Okay.
And then from another part of the crowd, conscious that they're now scanning the crowd a little bit, so I am going to try really hard to blend in and not be explicitly spotted as I do this. Just go, these corporate big dicks come here with their guns and think they can scare us. This is our planet.
Wow. Make Mars great again. You know what I mean? Okay, now.
I'm hiding.
Okay. Ian's like, it's gone.
Oh wait, are we supposed to put hoods up if we're hiding?
Just bumps into
Oh, I could be a Marvel character hiding. I do have a baseball cap and sunglasses.
It works for Superman. So.
I'm Captain America.
As you start encouraging it more and more, they do start surrounding. But what you do notice, more 413X will notice this immediately, is the blonde-haired woman starts clicking fingers, and you see the local enforcement start arriving and coming towards the crowd. And then John, you hear a Ryan, and you look across to the blonde woman as she's looking straight at you. She has no idea you've been shouting. She's just seen you in the crowd.
Yeah. I turn around. I look at her and go, yes?
What are you doing here? I thought you were on Earth. Or has your transport not left yet? Never mind.
It's
out the way. I have things to deal with. And she keeps walking unless you stop her.
Was she aware?
Is she by herself?
She is currently by herself, yeah. So right now where she is, she's currently by herself.
The one
Roll
that I'm
initiative.
spotting?
You roll initiative.
I'm going to take her down. If she's passing me that close, I'm going to whip out my blade on her and slice her up real good while she's passing as close as I possibly can.
Right.
As soon as she turns her back to me, I'm going to cut her up.
Cool.
Just
This escalated wildly.
Just because we're all in sync at the moment and time sort of, just to let you know, Philip's still going to be unconscious.
So it's okay, buddy. 413X's plans to shoot you with a GPS tracker.
I was going to say, because Sean pinged me over her thing, and I can see her. I think I was going to kind of stealth into the crowd, and John Wayne Gacy her.
Cool. So it's 10 to 11. So I'm going to call the session there, and I'll set up the fight for next time. So we've got a map and stuff. So we're going to call the session there. You will all be rolling initiative, and we will be starting not next week, week after session with a fight.
It's going to be a shit show.
But you guys playing next.
So, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to our sponsors. Remember, if you go to Dragon Turtle Games and you put the code in WAIT W-A-I-T, you get 10% off whatever you buy. I'll put my fan on because I'm super warm. Yeah, we run Carbon every 2 weeks, so our next session won't be next week, it'll be the week after, which I'm going to quickly tell you the date of now is 15th. So yes, please check us out on the 15th, or you can go on YouTube and watch it again, or you can look at the VOD on Twitch and watch it again. If you're enjoying it, please share it, subscribe it, like it, follow it, whatever platform terminology it is, to just keep an eye on what we're doing. And please, it's much appreciated, you guys watching, throwing bits in, commenting on whatever you do. It's really, really cool, and we'll see what this lot do in 2 weeks. Thank you very much. For now, say goodbye, players.
Bye, players.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, players.
I'm gonna go print a new
Goodbye,
character sheet.
characters.